Hey guys, it's Kent Kingery.
Jeff Deverter.
And we're here to talk to you today about all things Azure. Jeff, as the product lead, I've been doing a lot of work in the last several weeks, as you know, sort of repackaging our offering and sort of talking about the features we're going to do. We've got this nice spreadsheet here
full of cells, color coding,
Azure goodness,
dynamic content,
cloudy goodness.
Oh yeah, stored in the cloud.
And we've been doing IaaS support for a while.
Infrastructure as a service.
Absolutely. Basically the same as you would have with computing. You take your rack of servers, you stick it in the cloud.
That's right.
And you've got IaaS. Right?
I got a VM, I've got some storage, and I've got some networking.
Yeah, you got some networking, some security pieces, etc. Absolutely, pretty standard stuff.
Yes.
As a British would say, it's pretty bog standard, right?
Bog standard. I'll take your word for it.
So that's what they say. That's what they say anyway. So
you say?
But. So I've actually been taking the next set of features of Azure and getting them sort of packaged up into a consumable format.
And so that's really where we take and abstract VMs and storage and in a lot of cases even networking, and now provide that as a platform.
Yeah. And there's a term for that. And I want to say today here for the first time that Rackspace is officially supporting Azure Paas, but not just Azure Paas, my friend.
No?
We are supporting Azure Paas Deluxe. And it comes in a convenient box form.
Shrink wrapped.
I brought one for you,
Thank
so
you.
here's yours, and I've got one. And let me tell you something. Now, this is not the pricing that we're planning to go to market with, so we should probably turn that around. But I want to be clear that the things that we're covering are some very, very cool features.
Yes.
And of course, in keeping with our theme, our egg theme, our post-Easter egg theme.
And just like every good cooking show, we have a finished product.
We do have a finished product. We wanted not to go through the guts of it. We wanted to show the finished product. And here is our Paas.
So let's take a look at some of these.
Let's just take a look at it.
Absolutely.
Right? Shall we?
Show me what you have in here.
So let's just pull one out of here at random and take a look at it. So here's App Service.
App Service.
So App Service is the capability for you to build out a server essentially, but it's not a server you touch.
Right.
It's a place where you can put your web apps, you
Yes.
can put your logic apps. And so if you're a web developer, you put out an App Service out there, you get a pricing tier, a performance tier for it, you put it in a location, and you start to then put your web apps in there, and you have security around it. It's really
So that
awesome.
takes a lot of headache away from what somebody might have had to do, or whole teams of people would have had to do to build an infrastructure.
Absolutely. And if you're a developer, man, this is all good.
Right. Now, one way that customers will connect into their Azure if they're utilizing a lot of bandwidth is through Express Route. And at Rackspace, we will not only, it's a relatively complex situation of getting a dedicated pipe connected from our data center out into Azure, into your tenant, so that you've got some dedicated, significant, secure bandwidth.
Well, and this is high speed, high performance stuff. I mean, this gets into into the lightning type stuff. Okay, so along with that, then, as long as we're talking about Express Route and connectivity, let's talk about Azure Site Recovery. ASR, the capability for us to be able to burst over, fail over, etc. So let's say you're a private cloud customer with Rackspace, and you really want to be able to fail over into Azure. We would do that through ASR. ASR takes all the headaches out of making sure the workloads get transferred, replicated, etc. And man, this is
now is this only from Windows workload to Windows workload?
This is from VMware. This is from Windows workloads. All kinds of different things that are supported here.
Fantastic. So. Let me grab one here.
Sure.
Oh, so everybody's used to getting a big VM or a big dedicated server, making sure Windows is running well on it, and then installing SQL. Well, inside of Azure, now there is Azure SQL.
There is.
Tell me about Azure SQL.
Yeah, well, the full name for it is Azure SQL Database.
Yeah.
And basically what it gives you the ability to do is, just like the app service, you can spin up this place where you can go put your databases, but now you don't have to worry about managing the server.
Spinning up.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. But you can put your databases in and create them, but here's the key. They look and they act just like regular SQL Server databases. So if you're used to using SQL Server Management Studio to look at your data,
there it is.
No problem. You're used to connecting with a .NET app through a connection string, works just exactly the same.
And if you're running SQL 2016, you can even extend those the physical server that you have on 16 out into there as extended servers.
Absolutely.
Pretty
Absolutely.
cool stuff.
Some hot stuff.
What else is in the
let's see.
Let's
talk about the service bus. So everybody get on the bus, right?
It
is a little bus. I had to make my bus for all those, application architect guys out there, you know, that like to draw them.
Because they like it serious.
But the service bus is essentially just what it sounds like, and it's very, very similar to what's in private cloud today.
Right.
The ability for you to put work items and be able to communicate via a bus architecture, to be able to connect things to your bus, to be able to consume messages, to be able to do all of the things you would think of in a disconnected application environment.
Right.
This thing is
it's the glue.
Hot. Oh, it is
the
hot
glue.
stuff. Hot
all right,
stuff.
let's get it in the holder. What else do we have out here? Ooh, Logic App.
Logic App.
Tell me about Logic App.
So a Logic App
questionable.
It's questionable. It's a question mark because that's the logic, right?
Yes.
It's asking questions.
Yeah.
So a Logic App is essentially the ability for you to build an application around logic things that happen. But it isn't just coding. You can actually go in and build a Logic App around events that occur from other things. So you might have something happen in Dropbox, and when Dropbox does a certain thing, you might want to have a tweet go out.
Think of it as a rules engine.
You got it. You got it.
Think of it as your Outlook rules for Azure.
Absolutely.
I like it. It connects to anything, not just Outlook.
Let's see. Oh, this is your favorite here.
It
This
is.
is your favorite HD Insight.
Wish I could have drawn the little.
You have a little flower here, which is good.
We're going to assume
but
that
the
underneath.
elephant, exactly.
Yep.
So HD Insight, right? The ability
Data.
big data analytics, and supported on both Windows flavors and Linux flavors. So while this is sort of a hybrid thing, and not true PaaS in the sense that it is still spinning up VM instances, but it's managed as one sort of conglomerate type of thing.
And you mentioned, not just Windows but Linux instances. Isn't that the message of Azure these days?
Oh.
All things. Anything really is what it comes down to.
Well, and many of the features we've talked about so far don't have an OS flavor. I mean, obviously web apps, really more .NET sort of thing, but Service Bus, those kind of things, nobody cares.
Put in a message, take out a message.
As long as we're on the app train, let's do API. Now, you'll notice I didn't have a little icon for that one because I wasn't really sure what to do for an API. API, Application Programming Interface, the ability for you to have an application sitting in your Azure subscription that basically puts out a published API.
Well, then isn't that the message, the plain Jane of an API interface? And that is, here's just an interface then to put your stuff into.
Absolutely.
You skin it with what you want.
And if you think about what certainly governmental organizations I have a lot of worked with, they're putting out APIs to allow the citizen developer to be able to connect to services. Looking up parking tickets or getting a driver's license or whatever.
One of the first ones was looking up IRS codes.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. What else do we have in here? Let me grab one. Azure Automation. You got your rules engine, which helps make decisions, but this is how you help get things done.
Yeah.
How you can take complex activities, even custom complex activities via PowerShell.
You bet.
And turn it into something repeatable.
And we are doing this right now for a customer in Azure. We're using Azure Automation to automate their creation and deletion of resources on a daily basis. They actually have it on a schedule so that at 5 in the morning, some things get spun up. The developers come in, they do their work, they get what they want, they store off their work, and then at 6 o'clock at night, the automation kicks back in and gets rid of everything. Which is not only a convenience factor, but it's a cost saving.
That's what I was going to say.
Right?
So for a little bit of investment on the front side to create this automation, to then put it out there, create the scripting, put it out into Azure Automation, they're then saving money on a day-by-day, weekend-by-weekend basis by not having resources consumed out inside
Absolutely.
Inside Azure. All right, Document DB.
So
the document.
Yeah, I think I did a pretty good job with that.
Yours?
There's only 3 lines of data in it, but it's a document.
Yeah.
So this is Microsoft's NoSQL offering. So you've heard about NoSQL, right? It's the ability to put essentially unstructured or differently structured data than relational data.
Yes.
And so this is kind of like Redis, kind of like Mongo, some things like that. It's Microsoft's view of how that should look. Very powerful.
Right.
Very powerful.
Yeah, pretty neat stuff. Service Fabric. Again, note the bolt of Fabric.
Service Fabric. Yeah. I'm glad you explained that because nobody. Yeah. So think of Service Fabric. Service Fabric is the Azure answer to microservices. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
It is microservices deployed inside a fabric that's manageable. So, and then the last but not least is good old web apps. Now, so you'll notice my www.
Very cool. So it's powerful sort of a name. Apps. We all know apps. We have our mobile phones that has apps. We all know about web. But what makes this special? Can I just spin up a machine and get iOS running on it?
You can. But here's what's special about it. 2 things. One, it's integrated into the development tooling from Visual Studio. Okay. So I can easily just set up a deployment inside Visual Studio, and I can deploy out. I can even deploy from Visual Studio to GitHub, and then have GitHub deploy into the web app. But
nice.
here's the second piece. Second piece is all the scaling capabilities. So I
Okay.
can actually go to the app and say, I want to be able to scale out to 10 instances, and I want to be able to do that based on threshold of use or any of a number of other
Time
things.
of day.
So it's
time
got
of year.
all of that stuff. And let me tell you something. As a developer, this is some cool stuff. All of it's cool.
Yeah.
Right? All of it's cool. So
Right.
there you go. You got
That's
one more
great.
spot.
Yeah,
you
and
get
here it
your
is.
user in there, and there
So,
you go.
so what we have represented here then, of course, very creatively, is not just infrastructure as a service. We've had that. Anybody can spin up a machine and run it. But we take the collection of what is Azure Paas and turn it into available at Rackspace Paas Deluxe.
Yep, absolutely. And let me tell you the real key here. The real key is this is us taking it to the next level, my friend.
Yeah, we are.
Taking it to the next level. So I'm Kent.
I'm Jeff.
You guys have a great day.
Thank you.